Welcome to our podcast.
Hi,
I'm Kristin.
I'm Iris.
And this is number 40, right?
It's 40.
40.
And it's special announcement day for our next knit along.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! This is the spring knit along. We'll run April and May. It's our last knit along before we take a break for the summer.
Yep.
Because everybody's too busy and we're too busy.
And we're too busy and we need a break.
Need a
We
little
love
break.
the knit along and we really get rolling and it is so much fun.
It's so much fun. And sometimes you tell us you need a break too because you don't want to miss out on a knit along, but that means that sometimes the knit along projects like accumulate a little bit unfinished. So we do the finish along in the summer.
Which isn't just our stuff, it's anything goes.
Anything goes.
Anything goes.
Yep.
So. But our knit along dun dun dun
is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits.
So we're very excited about this sweater. It's something I've actually had in my queue for years, I think. It's a very popular knit.
14,000 on the Ravelry.
So we know it's a good one.
And you might also remember that we just did for our winter knit along the Dog Star, also by Tin Can Knits.
Yep. And great patterns, great support, great folks as designers. So
and we had so many people find success with being new to color work with Dog Star.
Yep.
It just really seemed like, why not? And one of the things we love about the Love Note is it's very customizable. So it's could be summery, could be springy, could be warmer in a wool.
Yeah.
You could do full length sleeve, short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve.
And you can use different weight yarns.
This is the exciting part.
Which can be a little confusing because we like to talk about gauge and the rules and all that. And this sweater is kind of customizable in the way that you want it to look as it's finished. Sometimes it's knit more as your typical sweater, and sometimes it's knit very open and loose.
The gauge is 4 stitches per inch. And so the yarn is the examples on the pattern and the one that I'm knitting, which I should show you.
Yeah, you should.
So the suggestion is for a fingering weight yarn plus a lace. Now that lace could have a little bit of mohair in it like mine does here. I'm using Seven Sisters Arts Meridian sock yarn with a strand of Lang lace, which we talked about in the last podcast too. That was a little like Easter egg, like we talked about it. You didn't know.
And so I wish you could feel this. It feels so good.
So soft.
Adding that carry along lace to an already soft yarn it's just a winner. And it's got a nice drape.
And so there are lace options that don't have fuzz. If you're like, yeah, I can't do the mohair, we've got some, and we're going to show you some options. But also you can use DK.
Right.
If anybody remembers the Sea Haven, I think the Sea Haven was the same gauge. So it was a DK weight yarn at like a 9 or a 10.
Yep.
So similar, 4 stitches per inch.
So is this one meant to be loose on you, bigger than so she's wearing a sweater that is not the one we're doing. This is the ranunculus, but they're similar in the customizableness
and the look,
the shape.
Where we've got some lace at the yoke. It's a pretty relaxed gauge I've got, and I think I'm knitting this one to be somewhat similar. So the pattern suggests between 4 and 12 inches of positive ease, meaning that's plus my regular bust size. And I believe that this one is going to come out to be maybe like 4 to 6.
It looks big to me for you.
When I put it on, it
doesn't seem it.
Yeah,
it
and
just looks it. Okay.
And then also with
if it's too big, I can help you with that.
You are so good at that. You are a good friend that way. So yeah, and so this is a provisional cast on edge. So this looks like ginormous, but it's going to suck in when I pick up and add.
Because none of us want that over the shoulder. Well,
yeah,
most of us.
Not me.
Some people do. But.
Okay, so let's talk about the lace, because are you freaking out that there's lace right now?
Yep.
Don't do it, because it's easy lace. It's good beginner lace.
Yep.
And if you did, the Soul Warmer, which was our March knit along last year.
Yep.
It's very similar lace motif. So this is obviously at a fingering weight gauge. It's a tighter gauge. And as we know, lace can look a little bit garbagey when
It's a
hasn't
little
been
loosey-goosey.
blocked,
This is
right?
going to look radically different when it gets blocked.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Open up.
and flatten
even
out,
out.
and it's just gonna look like lace is supposed to look. So don't let that lace freak you out.
And here's what I loved when I reached out to Alexa and Emily, the designers of Love Note Tin Can Knits. They said, oh, and we have a free 3-lesson lace course.
Oh, amazing.
And I was like, whoa, cool. And so I signed up for it, and it is indeed 3 lessons. So if you have never knit lace before in your life, it starts with, what is lace anyway?
Mm-hmm.
And it walks you through. It gives you a little bit of like some practice. So you cast on for a swatch, and it talks you through like, how do we read a lace chart? How do we read the instructions? So a lot of support.
That's great. That's great.
And the knit along will kick off April 6th in the shop.
Yep.
April 9th on Zoom. We're going to put all of those little bitty details down below. But we wanted to share some yarn.
It's kind of like choosing yarns for this. It's almost like there's too many choices.
So we can't possibly talk about everything that is in the Love Note collection that you'll be able to browse when you sign up. We just pulled some ones that we thought would be fun to highlight.
Yes, we sure did.
Yeah, we did.
And so the ones I'm going to start with are ones to hold with other ones. So we have I have some lace weight here and some fingering weight. And
so you're holding the lace with the fingering.
Yeah. And so here's just a glimpse of the lace. We have Malabrigo mohair in multiple colors. We have silk paca, which I have to not lie, this one is so tempting me. This yarn is so yummy. I wish you could feel it. It's so yummy.
It's got like the lightest bit of a
Look at that green.
I'm gonna put that in there for you. It has such a like gentle halo, like it's not hairy at all, but then the silk has
And then this one is one I was considering. This is Cashmere Dreams, which I've knit with before. I made a Sophie scarf out of this, held with another.
And that's what I held together with the On the Round plush single here as well.
It adds quite a lot of softness.
And under here are also lang lace, they're just hidden.
Oh, okay.
So many.
And then some lang lace, which looks just like the Cashmere Dreams in its little packet, but it's not actually the same. You can see it looks the same, but it doesn't quite look the same. The mohair is hairier.
But I find it pretty soft.
Oh, yeah, it's very soft. They just have a slightly different look, different feel. And some people are allergic to mohair. But I have never had anyone claim they were allergic to cashmere. So, and they both have silk in them. So, that is don't take it all the way.
I won't take it all away.
Because these are some of the ones we could mix that with. These are the fingering weights, and we have Inca, which is sort of an unsung yarn in our store. And I really love this yarn. It's got a little sheen to it if you like that, and it is viscose from bamboo, I believe, and baby alpaca. It's very soft. It's got a lovely drape. It would look amazing in that lace work.
Miranda's making one for the shop in this. And I don't think she's holding anything with this because it has the natural fluff.
And it's, I mean, it's got the 35% baby alpaca in the brushed form. So it's fluffy, but you can also mix it with something and make it even more fluffier and fuzzier and less open. So that while we're digging into that, we also have a yarn called Delish by Jody Long, and this would be just lovely. This is the Malabrigo mohair. Jody Long Delish is merino wool and mulberry silk, and
it's truly delish when you touch it.
It's so soft. You could eat it.
And it's, I think it's a 50-50.
And you could mix it with anything, really. Or it could go on its own. And so I have a few other colors of Delish in here. We just have new colors of them, and they are just so pretty. I'm just digging and I'm going by feel.
Yeah.
Because that's how soft it is.
You can. I think that's it.
I think it is. So that is Delish.
And like, what if you held a Delish, like the purple Delish,
Oh, yeah.
maybe with this darker purple?
Yes.
Could really be like a different look.
Yeah.
Or you could also do like
How about those
two together if you wanted a fluff to go with your fingering.
Or those two.
This
Just
is
depending upon the look you
the
want.
look you want, exactly. Ah,
I mean, you could
tangled.
also do like that. Like that
That
could
might be
work
what
too.
you might like to go
I haven't
for.
decided yet. I really like this though. This one's a contender for me for sure. And then we have our old favorites, our local guys, Seven Sisters, which is what she is using. This is Astrid, so it's merino and silk. And how many do we think this take? 2?
So I think mine is probably going to take 2. I think that I'm making the size large.
Yep. So I mean, it just depends upon your size, but because there is so much yardage, sorry.
I got you.
Because there's so much yardage with this, you don't need to buy 6 skeins of this.
And I'm astonished that this is still hanging in our shop, because this was like a
beautiful.
one-off purple blend.
Is there more than, is there
Yeah,
purple?
there's multiple ones of this, and it's just stunning because it has the sheen of the silk a little bit.
It's called Iris One-Off.
Imagine that.
It's like you, a one-off.
I was a one-off.
Name Iris. Wow.
Oh, we're silly. It's all the excitement.
It is. Then the Pheno.
Oh my gosh.
And, like what if you put Delish and Pheno together?
Or what about
yeah.
this combo
Oh, yeah.
with the Pheno? So the Pheno is a lot of yardage on here.
Tons. And it's
Almost 500.
70 merino, 30 silk, and there's 490 yards.
And
This is a lot of people's favorite yarns.
also wait, like what if you really wanted to lean into like
Electric.
spring forsythia electric love notes?
You totally could.
Yep.
You totally could. And I always think it's great to remember that the
I don't know if you want to play with
the off-white or a gray can go with almost any color, and it changes the color. Like it would tone this down, but it would be lovely. And this can be hard to picture until you've seen it happen a lot.
Yes.
So maybe we should try to make some samples up.
Like I love this. So the Pheno, what's great about the Pheno is it's somewhat tonal, but wow, seafoam delicious.
Yes.
Very soft. Yeah.
Once again, this.
Or like if you held this, if you blurred your eyes, you might kind of get the feeling of like hold that up again.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could feel that
very
peachy.
similar. Yep. Except it would be a little more orangey.
A little bit more
Or
orangey.
less electric. She's going for the super, super bright. And then we have Plush Single, which could be great on its own. Could be great mixed with a fuzz or a silkpaca. I think this mixed with a silkpaca would be like
let's see, where's my
dreamy.
silk? Oh, the purple down here.
like
Hydrangea with
this
that
would feel
like
so
cloud.
good. So good. And then we have this beautiful color. I think this is Harbor. This is one of her newer-ish colors. Like that's a real contender for me. I mean, that's gorgeous. And this is a really nice way to use these speckled yarns or a variegated yarn. If you have some in your stash that you want to use and you're like, what am I going to make out of these?
Right.
You can buy a fuzzy yarn and it kind of tones them down and they're less like
Okay,
in your
would it
face.
be crazy to do like this peach?
No,
with
actually,
this?
it wouldn't. And that's the weird, cool thing about adding 2 together is 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2. It equals, a letter, basically. 1 + 1 = C.
You heard that here first. I agree with you. It's hard, and so the swatching is going to be how you get your data. And maybe you, I'm sorry, I'm reaching for my swatch.
You're
like,
allowed.
You know, maybe you have to try a
Yep.
couple things.
You played around, didn't you?
I did, but
and you pulled out,
and
right?
I pulled out. I initially had silk paca with my meridian, and it was too light. It was bleaching this out, and I wanted to keep the electric quality.
It's March. We need electric pink.
See, we're gray. We're ready for the next knit along.
I was thinking about the gray today. I'm like, why do I choose this sweater? Why is this sweater my favorite lately?
Yeah.
And I'm like, it matches everything. So
It's
there
true.
is that.
Yep.
And it's cold enough to wear it again today.
All right.
All right.
Are we moving into
We're moving on.
my oh, you know what? Let's keep these out. I'll put these onto your lap.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk about a couple of sock yarns before I move into some sport/DK. So we have recently highlighted this in a newsletter, but Vintage Sock is a lovely fingering weight yarn. So it's got some acrylic in it.
This is a great budget conscious choice.
Nice budget conscious choice. So you could like maybe,
Look at this.
I know, this is,
It's so good.
it's so good, so heathery.
See, you could mix that with, believe it or not, silk paca is so inexpensive. You could make a really nice sweater out of that.
Yes, you could.
And if you want a little more excitement, we also have the Vintage Sock hand paint now. So,
But also, like, okay,
yeah.
imagine this.
yeah,
This is a really different way to
1 + 1 = C.
see. Again, it's amazing. All right, toss that over there. We have, of course, again, our favorite local dyer friends. This is Nimble Sock from On the Round. This is the yarn that I'm using for mine. This is Meridian by Seven Sisters Arts. And I think this Water Nymph.
It's such a pretty color.
I know. Yeah. We've got some good ones for that.
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to think what direction would you go? I mean, even that would be...
Yep.
It's so hard to picture. I don't know. What do we want?
I want something purple. Oh, you know, there's a lavender lang lace that I didn't pull, and that's over there.
So there's lots of
Yeah.
choices. We could not.
I had to cut myself off a little bit.
You could darken it up.
And like, same thing with like this. Adding that fluff is going to overall tone this oxidize down. Emerald City, pardon me. All right, so those are those. And we've got some nice sock from Malabrigo. We have our friend Frank Ochre, which if you wanted to go matchy match, we've got Frank Ochre in the
That is
fluff.
I can think of a few people that might like to choose that.
And I think we also have it in the silk paca, potentially as well.
Let's see. I think you might be right. Is this
Yeah.
Frank Ochre?
Yeah. So imagine, so you could see like this would add more, like it's about the same tone. That would brighten things a little bit.
Yes, because it's the same dye but different makeup, and so it takes the dye differently because all the silk in this and the alpaca. So fun.
And
Look
then
at that. Whoa.
This one is of course great, Patrick, for the bright green. And then I also pulled like these guys, and I know that we have, oh, here it is.
Oh, the old rose.
The old rose.
That's a new Malabrigo color.
And like, I don't know, you could, what else could we, oh, there it is. That, yes. So lang lace.
There's a lot of directions you can go.
So
basically.
many great directions. All right, I'll take that out of there. All right, now we're moving into, we're sorting ourselves out.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
We'll do it this way.
So, DK World. So, you know, this is the Kakagori by Noro. It is got some tweediness, but all over reads solid. And, you know, our thinking about this sweater with the lace is that depends on what you want, but it might feel too busy to have a lot of color variegation. But we've just gotten these new colors of that gorgeous kakagori.
And this has, I mean, this is Noro, but this is very toned down Noro.
And it's cotton, silk, viscose, poly. And so this would be one that you could hold on its own. No need to double it up.
And there's 600 and...
You're good at this in your head.
My brain isn't working. It's more than 650.
And so if I was making a crop version with short sleeves, I might be able to get away with one.
664 yards. I had to do it.
Great.
So that's a lot of yardage.
Yep.
Miranda's made a couple of sweaters out of this yarn. She really likes it, and we are very happy with the new
colors.
palette.
Just feels really good.
And there's more coming of this.
And I like this one because it's neutral, but there's some colorful stuff happening there.
We like it when we're knitting and we get a little pop of pink or something.
Keeping in the Noro theme, I wanted to also showcase a spring yarn favorite, which is Sonata, which we have so many beautiful colors of right now.
This yarn.
This is a sport to DK, so
it's a funny changeable one.
Funny changeable one. So you may need to like zhuzh it up, or potentially you could hold it with a lace as well.
But it can be used alone.
It can be used alone. In fact, Rachel did her ranunculus in this color.
Yep, she did.
Gorgeous. I happen to also love this color. This is the one Isla chose.
Oh, really?
And so it's just this beautiful blue gray. It feels very like warm and organic.
That's nice.
And then some other choices, but seriously, we have beautiful options in this. Oops, there it went on the floor. Soft lino, which was one of our faves from last summer. It's a DK weight, the softest linen I've ever felt.
Yep.
Doesn't feel like it's eating up your hands.
And it's linen, and there is cotton in it. But I believe it's only like 20%.
20% Pima, I think.
Just 20%.
Yep.
So
it's great. And like, how about this beautiful like dark mauvey purple?
Or the green.
The green.
I actually love this color too. So nice.
There's such a nice glow to it too, and it has just that little soft halo. It's gonna wear beautifully. Yeah, soft lino. New yarn, one of our new ones from Barocco. This is Vera.
Yep.
And this was a newsletter feature last week, I think. So Vera has
279 yards.
And then organic cotton plus viscose from aloe vera plants, which is kind of cool.
Why it's called Vera.
Vera. And then it just comes in a really nice array of colors. It's is it a tape structure or?
Yeah, it's like a what's the word?
Chainette?
Yeah, it's like a chainette tape.
Yep. And so I feel like,
I don't know if you guys can see or not, but probably not.
It's gonna soften up and just
it's not gonna look like that when you knit it. That's always hard for people to picture when they see the chainette. They think it's gonna look different, but it just looks like yarn.
Yeah.
Once you knit it, also very soft. Would be nice for a summer one.
And then had to, of course, show you Cottage DK. This is on the rounds, non-superwash, extra fine merino, would just be dreamy next to your skin, softness. A lot of colors of that. And then Plush DK, which is one of the shop faves. And I mean, I think we showed you hydrangea on the fingering.
Yep.
Here it is on the Plush DK.
This is such a fun color.
It's gorgeous.
So, are you making yours, what sleeve length?
I think I really like this, the 3/4. I'm not much of a short sleeve sweater person, but I think 3/4 is probably where I'll land. Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking I want to try to make this into my summer sweater, and I'm gonna make it kind of bigger and drapier. And I'm thinking like a long short sleeve.
Yeah, like a to here.
And I'm kind of thinking about this Vera. I think that might be fun.
Because there's a good green too.
There is. I can't do everything in green.
No,
though.
okay.
I mean, I'm in having a real green face.
What about this
I feel like would wash me out.
Yep.
But I mean,
You don't wear a lot of blue.
Yeah, I have a lot of summer blue stuff, but yeah, I was looking at this blue, and this would go with everything, which is nice when you're getting ready for work in the morning.
And it's a pretty quick knit. So again, I'm using size 10 needles for mine.
Wow.
And I'm blazing through. And you can, Tracy is making hers at a pretty cropped length because she likes to wear dresses all summer long.
Yep.
So pretty. She chose the Astrid in that gorgeous Electra. That was the special color 2 winters ago.
Yeah. So and she had it, and the perfect project came along, and so it is really one where you can dip into your stash, because sometimes it's hard to find a pattern if you have 2 skeins of something really beautiful that you don't know what to do with, but you love them.
Yep.
It's a good way of using that.
Like I think mine, I'm remembering, so for my size large, 850 yards.
Okay.
Now I'm holding double, so it's 850 of my sock and 850 of my, and that's with the full length and full sleeves. So
that's pretty much 4 skeins of yarn.
Yep.
Which isn't much for a sweater.
Yep.
So yeah, it's great. It's fun. You get to decide your length and how open you want it to be. And, you know, people think of 4 stitches to an inch as looking a certain way, but it can also be very open.
Because this was 4 stitches per inch.
Wow.
Right?
I don't know.
Well, right.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny that you remember that. And I remember a lot of weird little things, but
we remember different weird little things. So
Apparently.
that works out. So
yes.
I wanted to mention that if you're a new beginner to lace, or you're, let's say, less confident with lace, when you sign up for this knit along, you're going to get a welcome email with a ton of resources in there, including the link to the Tin Can Knits Lace course, which is a little hard to find on their website. Like, I don't know that it's publicly listed. Let's say, I think it went out to their newsletter, but she was like, share this out. So
super.
Great. And you might want to be sure that you have locking stitch markers on hand in whatever style you like, because if you're new to lace, sometimes it can really help to segment the sections of the lace repeats, kind of like your training wheels, just to be sure. And
that way you always know right where you are. And especially if you're beginning to understand lace, it's done in sections that are repeated, but at first it seems like it makes no sense at all, and it's a mishmash. So those little
really helpful. I did it. I've knit lace before, but I like the reassurance. And what's nice about the removable ones is there is a row where you do have to move your stitch marker over one. Don't worry about it. We can walk you through it. We'll get there later. So knit alongs at the Goat. We'd love to have you join us. I'm going to drop some links down below about Knit Along 101 and what you can expect from our knit alongs. It's not a race. When you sign up, you get information. Like I said, you get special emails with tips, tutorials. We have optional Zooms. We have optional in the store meetups. Our Zooms are super fun, a great community.
Yep. I joined last week's Zoom, and it was amazing. There were 24 people on.
And they kind of know each other, but it's also like a welcoming group, and everybody just loves to see what we're knitting. And we're going to meet up with Alexa Ludeman, one of the pair of Tin Can Knits, later on in April. And then, of course, you do get a discount on yarn for the project.
And once you sign up, which that will also be in the link below, sign up for the knit along, and you will receive a welcome email, and then an email about once a week. Sometimes, occasionally, there's another one. But with all of your tips and tricks and all that stuff. And if you sign up like midway through April, the same thing will happen, but you'll get all of the emails, but they won't come they won't all dump into your account that moment.
They come sort of every like 30 minutes or so until you're kind of caught up with where we're at.
And so you can join anytime.
Yeah.
And we don't like to have a lot of rules. We want it to be open and accessible to as many people as possible, so that we can share our love of knitting and community And this one is going to be so fun because of the range of possibilities. It's going to be so interesting to see how different all of this same pattern
kind
is
of like
gonna
the
be.
grid gambit,
Yeah.
where every single one we're like, whoa. And I forgot to mention 15 sizes for this, for the love note.
Oh, nice.
So there's actually child sizes, and then there's, you know, we go on up.
Yep. I think Miranda made one for her daughter, didn't she? I think she's made a lot of sweaters.
Yeah.
So we're all very excited for this.
Hope you're joining us.
Yes, please join us. And if you have any questions, you can reach out.
Yep.
And we hope to see you in the knit along.
Yeah.
And if not, well, elsewhere.
Elsewhere, you can leave us a comment here to say hi. You can leave us a comment if you think you're going to join us,
yes,
too.
please let us know. We
Mhm.
always like to hear. And we love your comments. We just love them. And your
Yeah.
likes. So we appreciate that.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for joining us.
Happy knitting. Bye.
Bye.